Please be advised that FATV will be conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I would ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating their name and city of residence. At this time, I would ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode.
Right on time.
Perfect timing. Councillor Boschman, would you please lead us in the salute to the flag?
It'd be an honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councillor Boschman.
I'm present.
Councillor Kuchar.
Here.
Councillor Cragen.
Here.
Councillor Cruz.
Here.
Councillor Di Natale.
Here.
Councillor Fleming.
Here.
Councillor Green. Councillor Schultz.
Here.
Councillor Van Hazinga.
Here remotely.
Councillor
Here.
and President Zarella.
Here.
We have 10 members present.
Thank you very much. We have no one logged in remotely for public forum. If we have anyone in the audience wishing to speak, please approach the center podium and state your name, city of residence, and the item on which you wish to speak, and you'll be given not more than 2 minutes. Seeing none, moving into our announcements. The next meeting of the Widowed Helping Widowed Support Group will take place on Thursday, February 13th, from 4 until 5:30 p.m. in room 205 at the Fitchburg State University Recreation Center, 130 North Street. Kelly Lynn and Bernie Schultz will co-facilitate the meeting. Members of the public are welcome to participate in a citizen-led group researching the history of black residents in Fitchburg and in the region. The group meets at the Fitchburg Historical Society every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. They are preparing for a Black History Trivia Night at the Society on Saturday, February 8th at 7 p.m., but are also researching black individuals, businesses, and associations to add to the archives. There is no cost, and students, adults, and seniors are welcome. Again, this meets every Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Society, and you can call 978-345-1157 to learn more. Councillors Derek Cruz and Bernie Schultz are hosting a City Council community meeting on Monday, February 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. here in the Legislative Building, 700 Main Street. This will be a town hall style meeting which is intended to provide an opportunity for residents to hear from expert panelists on a non-binding resolution called Medicare for All in Massachusetts that Councillors Cruz and Schultz are endorsing. Meeting attendees will have the chance to ask questions about the resolution itself, as well as the broader impact of adopting single-payer health care in the Commonwealth. There is also a North Central Creative Network Summit in downtown Fitchburg, Friday, February 21st through Saturday, February 22nd. This is intended to bring together 100 to 250 creative professionals, community leaders, and entrepreneurs for a day of connection, learning, and action to showcase Fitchburg's assets and resources, including the historic armory, highlight the city's commitment to arts, culture, and innovation, foster regional partnerships and economic development, strengthen our position as a leader in the creative economy, and create lasting connections between local and regional partners. Additional details will be made available as we receive them. Now on to the report of the Economic Development Committee. Councillor Cragen.
Thank you, Mr. President. This week, Roy Nascimento, president of North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce, sent a bulletin expressing grave concern about the proposed tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico. So I immediately called him up to hear more. He told me the Chamber had spoken to many owners of manufacturing facilities to get a sense of their thoughts as regards the tariffs, and the majority of people he spoke to are very, very worried. Just a reminder to everyone in North Central Massachusetts, our manufacturing base is unique in the state. Manufacturers are a significant regional employer and they pay above average wages. So the results of tariffs, according to the Chamber, are likely to be inflation, increased cost to consumers, and potential reductions in staffing. So the Chamber is closely monitoring all of these potential impacts. If your business will be affected, please call 978-353-7600, extension 225, if you would like to speak to Roy, who is the President and Executive Director directly. However, we do have good news, because that's the point of economic development update, to really give you guys a balance. Lots of really exciting media. We kind of owned a couple of papers this week, starting with last week. The Sentinel put the Fitchburg Airport seeks new eatery for aviation hub on the front page. So it's this giant picture of a plane, and the story then continues to the back page. This, again, is, huge impact. But more, kind of delightful, I'm going to say, is that Mary Jo Bohard, our Executive Director of Economic Development, said that the Worcester Business Journal did huge coverage of Fitchburg this month, huge. So on the cover, we have Passing the Torch with 2 new leaders. Fitchburg's effort to revitalize downtown enters its next phase. So not only do we have the advertisement for the forthcoming restaurant development, which we did purchase, although we kind of got a discount on it, according to airport manager Peter Kettle. I'm sure you know he's very persuasive. So this is actually going to run for 2 issues, the ad, but then we move along to the big story on, Fitchburg and where we are. The coverage, Passing the Torch, Eric Casey, he's the managing editor. There are statistics about key downtown Fitchburg properties, pictures of the City Hall, pictures of the courthouse, pictures of new FSU President Donna Hodge and Mayor Squalia. And it's a pretty substantive story, which is why I had Mary Jo make 3 copies of it and to distribute among my colleagues here so you guys can read it. There's also a story about the Central Mass Bar arcades. Now, this is really about Worcester, but it's also about Fitchburg. We're going to get one of these. Finally, on the last page, we were delighted to see that a local photographer, the Kristen Smith, she got a full page. This does not happen every month. This is really big and very important for Fitchburg. So I wanted to bring that out. And finally, my favorite holiday, Valentine's Day, is coming. Many local businesses help us celebrate. I spoke to lots of local businesses, and most people want to say it with flowers. We have 5 excellent locally owned florists in Fitchburg. You can buy flowers that are pink, red, or white, or other hues, if that's what you like for Valentine's Day. Probably 5 minutes from these chambers, DeBonis and Davin, are up the street, last-minute gifts further down River Street. You can go to Colley's Florist and Romano Greenhouses on South Street, and then Windmill Florist on Mechanic Street, which I know is a favorite of Ward 5 Councilor Marisa Fleming. Another Valentine Day gift completely free of fat, sugar, and carbohydrates is a card. So I called Minuteman Press. They've been in business since 1987. This is what they charge for a color copy, 59 cents. Your child does a beautiful Valentine, your grandchild does a beautiful Valentine, 59 cents, and you can make a copy of that card and share it. However, if your Valentine tradition includes the sweet stuff, go across Summer Street to Dutch Kitchen. They've been in business since 1968 under new management for the last 5 years. They are taking orders for cookies and baked goods. The new owner is continuing with the super secret recipe for buttercream. Up at Park Hill Plaza, we have a baker doing something new, making macarons. Macarons are all over Boston and Cambridge. They're very fancy French cookies. They are really difficult. The owner, Paige McNamara, who's Paul McNamara's daughter, said last weekend it took her 12 separate tries to make the macarons. Now, that's stick-to-itiveness for a local baker. She let folks know about this on Facebook, and when I went in to buy a macaron, she'd sold out. Finally, Valentine's Day, go bling or go home. Real bling. If you go to Fitchburg's most venerable family-owned store, Duvarney Jewelers, you will find gorgeous, sparkly adornments. Duvarney's, still at 457 Main Street. They were founded in 1854 under continuous family ownership. Also, further along South Street, 63 Waylon Street, Elliott's Jewelers, which began in the 30s, so they'll be celebrating their centennial in the next 10 years or so. They are also family-owned. They offer a full selection of jewelry for men and women, timepieces, and elegant home decor. Finally, whether you celebrate with rubies, roses, cards, or chocolate, we wish all of you a very happy Valentine's Day, and I want to say thank you to all the business owners who spoke to us this week. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.
Thank you very much. Report of the Committee on Records. Councilor Giannatalli.
I have reviewed the minutes of the previous meeting, and they appear to be in order.
Mr. President, I have a question on the minutes.
Go ahead, Councilor.
I got one question. I'm going to vote for it tonight, finding fault with it. But my question is to you on that minutes. I want to make sure I understand it. I was going to need an appointment from the mayor, a letter saying Brittany Fish is going to be the temporary HR person. Now, is this going to be for 6 months, right? And after that, we're going to get somebody?
All that's in front of us right now, Councilor, is the accuracy of the record. We don't have the actual appointment letter in front of us for discussion, but I'd be happy to discuss it with you after the meeting.
Okay, Mr. President.
Motion to approve the report.
Second. I have a motion and second. If there is no objection, it is unanimously, I'm sorry, we have Councilor Van Hazinga remote. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Boschman?
Yes.
Councilor Kuchar?
Yes.
Councilor Cragan?
Yes.
Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
Councilor Di Natale?
Yes.
Councilor Fleming?
Yes.
Councilor Schultz?
Yes.
Councilor Van Hazinga?
Yes.
Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
And President Zarella.
Yes.
That's 10-0. Passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. We have some communications from Her Honor the Mayor. 2 new appointment letters. Ricardo Barros as a member of the Fitchburg Cultural Council, term to expire February 18th, 2028. Eva Antonucci Kelly as a member of the Cultural Council, term to expire February 18th, 2028. 3 reappointment letters. Shara Osgood, Cultural Council, term to expire January 1st, 2028. Amanda Keck, Planning Board, term to expire September 1st, 2027. And Brian Gallagher, Zoning Board, term to expire March 1st, 2030. All of those stand referred to appointments. We also have the reappointment letter of Lisa Mead and Mead, Tallerman and Acosta LLC to the position of City Solicitor for a 1-year term to expire January 26th, 2026. That does not require council approval, so it will be placed on file with the clerk's office. Councilor Fleming? Councilor Fleming?
Did I not see it referred to the legislative?
No, I don't believe so. The appointment of the... No. The mayor has the authority to appoint a city solicitor without action by the council. Our opportunity to review the matter will not arise until the renewal of the budget appropriation.
Right. You could go, I just got to look it up because I know I didn't.
Okay.
All right.
Next, we have a special communication. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Giannatalli.
Yeah, I think it does say it's referred to legislative affairs.
That may just be a typographical error.
I think it was a separate.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says legislative affairs.
Huh. Okay. Well, my apologies. I should have caught that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
See it?
Nope, my apologies. It does not say that. Nope.
Okay.
That's another matter.
Okay.
Nope.
Just making sure. Yeah, so that normally would not be referred to any committee. Okay, so next we have a special communication from Steve Curry on behalf of the Board of Health regarding the opioid settlement funds. You can proceed whenever you're ready.
Good evening, councilors. I will try to be brief as possible, but throw a whole bunch of information at you. Quick PowerPoint presentation. I can get it to work. How am I doing, Dan?
Not too good there, Steve.
bucks.
Yep. So we'll do... Thanks, appreciate your help.
That's why he gets the big bucks.
There we go. So, councilors, right now we have about $800,000 of opioid settlement funds. Those funds will continue to triculate into our city up until 2038. Those funds will total about a little short of $1.5 million. This has been presented to the Board of Health, and now I'm trying to get folks on board so everybody's aware of what we intend to do with those funds in the Health Department. Some of the funding strategies that are required by the grant is to support people in treatment and recovery. We are work very hard at trying to facilitate folks to connections to care. Keith Barnaby does that on a daily basis. We will continue to promote harm reduction. I'll go over that a little bit more later on in this presentation. We will be continuing to work with the police department, as well as trying to address the needs of the criminal justice involved persons. And at the last one, we will prevent the misuse of opioids and implement preventative education. We do that quite a bit during our Narcan presentations already. But all these things are the requirements of the grant, and we will continue over time to try to tackle all of them to meet our needs. Question, Councilor Boschman?
Go ahead.
I can ask, on that $1.5 million, that's just for Fitchburg, that's not for the 10 other communities that were involved?
Just Fitchburg.
Just Fitchburg, okay.
Yep. So funding strategies. As far as committees go, we're going to ask Mayor Squalia to appoint a committee. Hopefully it will be a 10-person committee. Those committee members will have or have to have experience in opioid abuse, whether it's past or present. And this committee would analyze our community priorities, as well as make recommendations to the Board of Health, as well as the mayor regarding funding allocations. Just some communities that have already implemented this model. We're not reinventing the wheel. Worcester is using a very similar strategy. Lynn has a 12-member working group, and it's comprised of city departments, medical providers, and individuals with personal experience. Salem is in the beginning stages, so it's we're not extremely far behind, but they're looking at a comprehensive approach. So really, they haven't done anything other than do the required thinking to present to the grantors. Fall River has moved a little bit further. They have already formed the Fall River Opioid Settlement Funds Advisory Committee. I believe it's a 10-person committee. And they make recommendations to the mayor and the Board of Health on what they feel is important in the community and how funds should be allocated. These funds are very public input supported. Surveys are very important. We have already done a survey. This survey was done at various events that were held in the city, such as Narcan trainings, the overdose vigil at the Upper Common, at the sheriff's office, during our hub meetings, which occur on Tuesdays, every other Tuesdays during the fall and summer season, where all the providers get together and we discuss certain cases and also discuss what services are out there and try to connect the appropriate service to the individual. So these surveys were conducted, and they were also reviewed by the Department of Public Health, and they were funded by the surveys that we've already conducted. Were funded as part of the OD2A grant you folks remember you approved a few years ago. We also had this survey reviewed and evaluated by the Institute of Community Health, commonly known as ICH, and they actually produced a report. I'm going to show some of the results of that report. Folks were asked, how do they feel access to treatment and other services available and equally to all? And 61% said no. Folks were also asked, do you believe that stigma plays a part in access to services? And 67% said yes. As far as harm reduction goes, folks were asked, do you know how to access naloxone or Narcan? And 91% of folks said yes, they did. And I attribute that to the many Narcan trainings that Keith Barnaby has taught over the last couple of years. So kind of a bit of a sign there. And they also asked if naloxone was also available to the folks who need it, and 60% said yes. And then 83% of folks said naloxone, they have attended a naloxone training. As far as, I think we got repetition. As far as social needs, folks were asked if there's adequate shelter in Fitchburg for those who have OUD, and 89% of folks said no. Folks were also asked if there was adequate permanent housing for folks with OUD, and 96% said no. And folks were also asked if the needs of opioid use disorder addressed in the criminal justice system, and 69% of folks said no. Just kind of some interesting statistics. As far as community input goes, the Board of Health intends to hold a public listening session to interested community members, and we have already developed and will continue to revamp it as needs arise, an online survey which will provide qualitative and quantitative data, and this will also be analyzed by the Institute of Community Health, and they will also provide evaluation of that input. So, settlement funds will allow us to continue some of the Narcan trainings that we've had, education and distribution of fentanyl test strips. Fentanyl, as you know, has become a problem, not just in the city, but countrywide. It'll assist us in our efforts to continue with Narcan distribution. We'd like to be able to provide or distribute wound care kits. Some of the drugs out there now are causing wounds. You'll see users out there. Incidentally, I might add, we deal with the homeless population, as you folks know, on a daily basis. Keith is out visiting out in the field to our homeless folks, but I want to note that just because they're homeless doesn't make, we all know, it doesn't make them opioid abusers, and in the reverse. I mean, not everybody that's homeless is an opioid abuser, and vice versa. But so I don't want to sound stereotypical, but I just want folks to be aware that there's drugs out there that are affecting the skin, creating MRSA. There are wound issues out there, and especially our homeless population. So we think it's important to not only try to connect them to services, but also connect them to any medical help that might be available. So the Board of Health already approved funding. We'd like to continue to fund our street outreach worker once ARPA funds run out. Keith is presently funded by ARPA. That should run out, I believe, April or May of this fiscal year. We'd also like to fund a partial outreach prevention coordinator, which would become the person to oversee the program, as well as to oversee the employees, the street outreach worker. That position would be Sue Christensen. She's currently, right now, is paid by Mass Call 3. We'd love to have a mini grant program where we dedicate funds, very much similar to the CDBG program, where applicable agencies or folks can apply for funding that meet whatever the needs are of the community, and we would be able to fund them. We would also like to work closely with the Fitchburg Public Schools and offer them funding. We'd like to, as a harm reduction tactic, we'd like to increase or even implement naloxone box programs where naloxone is more available in areas, especially where there's consistent overdoses. We'd like to combine the nurse position. Currently, the public health nurse position is vacant. We'd like to seek a nurse that has some opioid abuse experience, as well as clinical experience with those individuals. And obviously, we need to pay these people and do the appropriate reports and paperwork, so a little bit of admin support to go along with it. So we've prepared a 3-year budget. Right now we have about $810,000, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation. We would fund that street outreach worker for 3 years. Half of the position of the outreach prevention coordinator, about $116,000. Right now, we would fund the mini grants program at about $277,000. Once we get comfortable with the mini grant program, that will definitely increase, especially as funds continue to come in. We'd have about $18,000 for the Fitchburg Public Schools for opioid prevention and education, about $15,000 for the Relax Box program, a half-time clinical nurse manager at the tune of about $120,000, which is about $40,000 a year, and about 10% admin support for a total appropriation of $810,000 for 3 years. And that is as quick as I could be.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Who decides where the outreach is created? Because I can tell you where many of our opioid users are daily. And I won't say it out loud. I like to speak to you, but who decides that?
Well, we try to use data as much as possible, such as the overdose results from the police and fire department, whatever data the DPH has had that can provide us. But we also have as far as our homeless folks, we also have Keith has a terrific idea of where just about all of them are located and can visit them in person out in the field. But we try to base it on data as much as possible, whatever data is available.
Right, so the outreach is specifically for the homeless or for both? Because like you said, just because you're homeless doesn't
Right.
mean, and you are right, you are absolutely right. So like I said, I see it daily and I see it in an abundance.
Yep.
So I would like to discuss it with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Counselor Boschman.
on your chart up there, I noticed you don't give nothing to the police department or to the fire department for all the calls that they go on, opiates calls, numerous calls.
What do you mean
Is
you
there a
don't get
reason?
nothing?
You don't give any funding to them, do you?
They would have the ability to apply for a mini grant, and that would be encouraged. They already have funding for a clinician. So if they were to meet the needs of opioid funding, they could apply for a mini grant. We already do work with the police department on a weekly basis. We met today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. My other question to you is, I like the program, I like some of the programs, and my question is, you come up and you pick up Paul Bosch when I get a problem. I'm a drug addict, let's say. I'm just using that for a figure of speech, guys. I'm not a drug addict. But I OD on the streets, they come and they bring me back. They get me out of it, and they say, we want to send you to the hospital. I say no, so they give me a, what do you call that? The thing you put up your nose, an Narcan?
Narcan.
Narcan. So they give me one of those to carry with me or somebody, so I won't go relapse.
Right.
Do you ever step in and file a section 51 or 31 or 35, whatever you call, to say this guy is not really thinking right, that he really has to get out there and get some help?
Yes.
Or are we spinning our wheels for nothing?
Yes. In fact, we were involved with one last week, but we don't have the authority to section someone for that. Only the police do.
Oh, the police did.
Yes. So we work very closely with the police when that situation does arise, and it does arise.
All right. I yield the floor, sir. I yield the floor.
All right. Anyone else? Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, councilors.
Take care of yourself, Steve.
All right. Next up, we have the report of the Finance Committee. Councilor Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance Committee met on Wednesday, January 22nd. We took up 8 items, mostly a number of grants. All 8 were approved unanimously. The top 2, 00625 and 00525, they go together. The 00625 was a memorandum executed by the mayor and the Fitchburg Police Union to settle a grievance that the union had filed, and the $75,000 of 005-25 is we'll set up an escrow account to fund police detail escrow fund. That Chief Martin let us know that money is just a transfer of funds within the department and is not an additional allocation. Both those were approved unanimously. The next 6 were various grants to be all adopted unanimously. A sustainable material recovery grant for $30,000, a JAG Justice Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant for $19,287, a Violence Against Women Act grant funds of $73,951.70, and 2 grants for the Recreation Department, one from the Department of Conservation and Recreation and $50,000 total, and another from the Department of Conservation and Recreation for $40,000. The first was a concrete slab for a fitness park at Coolidge Park, and the second for the installation of a new digital scoreboard at Nicotus Field. Finally, the final allocation was $7,000 from Community Development Block Grants, year 49, for the Crocker Field Broad Street Entry Project to 50 Crocker Field Restoration Project. Once again, all were unanimously approved.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion and second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilor Boschman?
Yes.
Councilor Kuchar?
Yes.
Councilor Cragan?
Yes.
Councilor Cruz?
Yes.
Councilor Di Natale?
Yes.
Councilor Fleming?
Yes.
Councilor Shields?
Yes.
Councilor Van Hazinga?
Yes.
Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
And President Zarella.
Yes.
That passes 10-0 unanimously.
Thank you very much. Report of, go right ahead.
If anybody needs additional clarifications on anything, feel free to reach out to me if any of the grants they'd like additional information on. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Report of the Public Works Committee. Councilor Schultz.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Public Works Committee met on January 28th, 2025, and there was only one petition on the agenda, 16824, Councilor Andrew Kuchar on behalf of Paulo Fritz to investigate water runoff from the property of 160 Stickney Road. An apron and berm should be placed to stop water intrusion, to stop the damage to the property, and that one petition was held.
Make a motion, we accept.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Counsel Boishman,
Yes.
Counsel Kuchar,
Yes.
Counsel Cragan,
Yes.
Counsel Cruz,
Yes.
Counsel Di Natale,
Yes.
Counsel Fleming,
Yes?
Counsel Schultz,
Yes.
Counsel Van Hazinga,
Yes.
Counsel Walsh.
Yes.
And President Zarella.
Yes.
That passes 10-0, unanimous consent.
Thank you very much. We have 6 items, all of 01325 through and including 01825, all of which stand referred to finance, unless someone wants me to read them off. 01925 is a modification of the loan order that we previously approved in September for the various water projects. That will stand referred to finance as well. 02025 is an ordinance amendment to to adopt the provisions of General Laws, Chapter 60, Section 62A. That will stand referred to Legislative Affairs. And 02125 is the resolution of Councilors Cruz and Schultz in support of Massachusetts Medicare for All, which will also stand referred to Legislative Affairs. And that concludes our agenda for the
Motion we
evening.
adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and second, and therefore we are adjourned.